So thank you again for. I hope the coffee break was good. It was sponsored by Global Gateway, and it's good. So you took a bit more time there. So actually, we go to the next session. It's when we build clouds, there is a topic which is getting more relevance from day to day, which is the availability. And we face some challenges we face some challenges when we have to deal with this to work on the availability. There is some challenges we are working on, and I would like to call Mr. Edwin. And Mr. Edwin will speak. Will present like the global situation of the cloud markets and what are the daily challenges, and eventually how we can find a solution to these challenges to increase availability and stuff like that, and data security. Mr. Edwin, welcome.
Thank you, Sid, for the invitation. I'm glad to be here. And my name is Edwin. I am the head of global sales for Hystax, a US company from the beautiful Bay Area. And since I'm the head of sales, obviously I will tell you not too much about the global cloud situation, but about what Hystax is doing. But I'm fine to frame it first a little bit. Clouds are a good thing, I would say. Very simple. You should use it. They're beneficial. Of course, we know this. This is why we have so many clouds. Even in Africa, most companies are using a cloud. Here we have a representative from a bank using cloud as well, Azure. But unfortunately, Azure in West Europe, because there's no Azure point of presence here in the north. I think South Africa has AWS since 3 years or something, while in Frankfurt it was already for more than 10 years. In Australia, the hyperscalers came 1 year ago only, before they also had to use the POP in Singapore. So that's the message. The cloud is there. It's multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, private public cloud, but it's not really fairly distributed. You have regions where there's no cloud at all, no hyperscalers actually, at least. And then you have regions there will come, maybe, as we learned, the hyperscalers, if there are enough users, they will be interested in put a point of presence maybe also here. But there are also regions where they will never be. Our support team is located in Armenia, for example. Armenia is a small country between Turkey and Iran. And there will never be Amazon or Azure or Google data center. We know this because not many people, not big companies. This is a country which is good for development, R&D stuff, but not for the hyperscalers. So that's the point, that the cloud is there, but not in each region. It's equally distributed. We have multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, all these trends. You know this all. You should know this. If not, Google it. Sovereign cloud is also a key buzzword. Sovereign clouds I also don't like too much, because what does it mean? It means that you have in a country a cloud service provider which provides a cloud tailor-made for the country's rules and regulations, most of the time from the company itself. In Germany, we tried it. I live in Germany, by the way. There was this Deutsche Telekom OTC, Open Telecom Cloud, didn't work. Then Ionis Cloud from Web 1&1 didn't work. UK Cloud, that works because they don't want to share their data with US American clouds, AWS, Azure, GCP, all US American. So they have this UK Cloud. That's okay. But in general, I think the sovereign cloud, there will be a presentation tomorrow. Sovereign cloud protection or opportunity. For me, it's protection. I don't like it too much. It's only necessary because you have unnecessary, useless regulations, too many, even here in Africa. We'll come to the slide as well. So as I work for an American company, we like free speech, everything open, no regulations. And but what I like about sovereign clouds is that this means taking away business from the hyperscalers, because the hyperscalers, as I already mentioned, AWS, Azure, GCP, all US companies. Come on, you should not give all your data into the hands of US companies, because, of course, all the data goes to the NSA and CIA, of course. And this is why the sovereign clouds are a counterweight, and we need this. In early days, the internet had an idea of like anarchy, freedom, and this is why these clouds service providers who use OpenStack-based, KVM-based clouds, OpenNebula, KubeVirt, OVirt, are really useful and should be used. And here we have a good example in this event. We have Safosi from the founder Ziad, who has the cloud infrastructure. And then we have Virtuoso, one of the sponsors, which is an OpenStack-based cloud. And then you have Hystax, who enables the migration into this cloud and offers disaster recovery, backup, and cloud cost management. This is a team. And this is the main message here, that you have companies, Safosi, Virtuoso, Hystax, as a team who can accompany you to the whole cloud journey, so to say. Yeah. So the global cloud situation in general, the thing is that it is opposite to the slides. It's moving forward. Okay, it was too fast. So here, this is just one slide from a Gartner source, which shows that the growth is 21%. We heard in the forum presentation, ICT data center 13%. Here we have, this is just the cloud spending. I could have shown a slide from cloud, public cloud increase, private clouds, cloud consumption, cloud service providers. It's all more or less the same. We have a compound annual growth, CAGR, of like 20%, which is really great. It continues. So the cloud is still growing. This is why I say cloud is a good thing. You should use it because everyone is using it, yeah? They all move to the cloud, yes. Some more, some less, depending on where you are. And here in Africa, there's still something to catch up, yeah? But this was a question of Ziad to the former speaker. What happens to, will they first go into the data centers, put the racks, and then later virtualize, use cloud? No, they will immediately go to the cloud computing because like with the mobile phone, due to the lack of fixed fiber, fixed phones, they jumped on a mobile phone, have the highest adoption of mobile phone in Africa. The same will be with the cloud usage. So you will... This is a good message that for the cloud service providers, that in Africa, there's still a lot to catch up. As you can see here, especially in North Africa, where we are right now, in the Maghreb states, you have the biggest amount of still data running on-premise. Yeah? So East Africa, South Africa, compared to North Africa, is 45%. So here, there's still potential to grow. Good for you. And what might be the reason? Maybe this. Look at this. 2 data centers in Tunis. If this is up to date, then there was one in Sousse and the other one in Tunis. This is really poor. Come on. Look, compared to East and West Africa. And what might be the reason? The reason might be also that you have unnecessary, as I say, it's stupid regulations. If I hear that a country like Gabon or Algeria has data protection laws like these data residency, that residents, that you don't have to, it's not allowed to leave data out of Gabon. Who's interested in the data of Gabon or Algeria? You know, you should work together at Maghreb states. Tunis, Morocco, Algeria, open up and get rid of these regulations. Also, Tunis has this cross-data transfer regulations, which make this difficult. If you're a multi-international company and you have places all over the locations all over the world, in Algeria, in Tunis, in Casablanca, in Egypt, and the data is not allowed to travel borders, difficult for these companies, yes? If you want to use cloud services, which are now, like in your case, the bank who's using Azure in Western Europe, and it's not allowed to leave the country. Also not good for the big cloud providers. So you're limiting yourself. This is why we will see in a later slide, one of the biggest issues why I'm not using cloud is the legal issues. Here you see where you have the most potential is the financial services. So as always, technology, media, entertainment, they are using a cloud already at a high extent. But the financial services, why? Because of the regulations again. So it always comes back to the regulations, to the rules, which are not necessary. This is where you still have a lot of potential, actually. Yes? So, and why are they not moving to the cloud? According to this, actually it's a McKinsey analysis from last year. As you see, the biggest factor which is holding you guys back from using the cloud, adopting it more, is the legacy and regulatory constraints. And this is why I said, open up events like this, where people from the industry, system providers, cloud service providers, vendors, associations come together and try to solve this, because as you can see, this is the biggest constraint. But there are other constraints, like number 4 from the top, difficulty managing cloud users costs and leveraging cloud efficiency. And then the lowest one is migration. The lowest one, but it's only the lowest one, not because it's not important, just because the other ones, the number one is such a big issue, But if you combine the last one, the migration difficulty and the cloud cost efficiency together, it's more than 60%. And this 60% is exactly what Hystax, my company, can offer you, because we do the migration from on-prem into the cloud. Yeah. And also then show you how to make the most out of the cloud with cloud cost management, FinOps and stuff. And this is why we now reach to the point where I introduce the Hystax company. So cloud migration is to see the best strategy is not to just close your eyes and hope that everything will work fine. Actually, the most used migration solution is the so-called lift and shift, the re-hosting. Yeah. Why? Because it's simply the simplest, the fastest, the most cost-effective way to move to the cloud. Yes. And exactly this is what Hystax is offering. We are a software vendor, an independent software vendor, and our software, which is called Acura, makes the journey into the cloud. You see our mission statement, to make the journey into the cloud a simple and straightforward process. Yeah, because migration is often underestimated from the complexity. Rehosting is very simple in comparison to refactoring. Okay, but the point is that even there, the devil sits in the detail, and we have done more than 250,000 migrations in the last 6 years. The biggest migration we did for a Fortune 500 bank, where we migrated 43,000 machines in less than 5 months. And now we have even a bigger project also with a bank for about 100,000 machines, where every night, this night, yesterday night, also tomorrow night, we migrate 500 machines in a 6 hours windows. So we are not afraid of scale. And this is what we do. Eat, sleep, migrate. Yeah. Hystax has 2 products. Acura is the software, which is not SaaS, it's the software. So it's given to you as an image, you deploy it on a virtual machine running in the target site. It always runs in the target site. And it does the 3 use cases, migration, DR, and backup. And then also with Upscale, we can monitor the cloud consumption. So actually it's the whole journey. First, we help you to go from on-prem into the Holy Land to the cloud. Once you are there, then we make sure that you're protected. Well, protected. Disaster recovery is part of a broader business continuous strategy. So you're in the cloud, you're protected. And now what's missing to show you how to make the most out of the cloud, how to not waste money, how to optimize the workloads. This is called cloud cost management, FinOps. And also MLOps, because AI, as we heard, is the future. AI is here to stay. And also there we have a solution to improve the costs and everything, bottleneck identification stuff for the clouds. So monitoring the cloud, yeah, funny. Here you see the platforms we support. On the left side, there's much more than you can see. There was just not more space in the quadrant. This is why in the button it says, etc., etc. So Nutanix, Hyper-V, just some examples. But everything you think is missing, like Proxmox, Citrix Sense Server, Apache Cloud Stack, it's all supported. So the source is always a given, because we use different kind of agents, and with so-called internal agents, which we deploy on the guest OS level in a server, we can work on any source, also bare metal servers. The target platforms, they are really set. So here it's what you see, which is the hyperscalers, AWS, Azure, GCP, Alibaba as well, one of the hyperscalers. To be honest, yeah, always they miss them, but they're also big, just not so much in Western Europe and America. And then OpenNebula, OpenStack, KubeVirt is coming. It's not there, but it's coming end of this month. Overt and VMware. So also VMware on-prem was supported. It's not a cloud, but it acts as a cloud from the API perspective. So all these targets are supported, or even more. We can integrate in any cloud. So if one enterprise, a customer, has a big project to Oracle, OCI, okay, if you're willing to give us 50, 80K to do integration, in 2 months, we would support OCI as well. But by now, there was not such a huge demand. This is why we have these platforms. But it can be extended if there's a demand. And then it's just a question who's paying integration. Live cloud migration means there's no downtime, which is not 100% true. There is downtime during the cutover. So when we do the replication, this is called incremental replication. By snapshotting, first you take a full copy of the machine, and then you take the incrementals. Yeah, this happens on the background. The solution just needs as little as 3 megabits per second bandwidth to work. The more the merrier, of course. The first initial copy can take a while, but then the incrementals is just minimum data, and there's no downtime. We do all the things like quality of service, throttling to throttle the bandwidth, if you need it for other stuff as well. VAR optimization, deduplication, we don't send any empty blocks twice, compression techniques. So you don't feel it. It happens on the background. There's no interruption of the business during the replication phase, yeah? Internal, external agents, for the flow, it doesn't matter. No downtime, you can test as long as you want. Just so when we do the cutover, then we need a small maintenance windows, which you can see here. 4 stages, very high level, of course. So first, we do the identification of the workloads, the preparation of the target cloud, because the lift and shift means that we take the whole machine as such, with everything running on it or attached to it, no matter what is running on it. Please don't ask me later, can you also replicate Kubernetes clusters or SAP HANA or Oracle databases, Cassandra clusters? Yes, yes, yes. The answer is always yes, because we are application agnostic. So it's always the whole machine as such. But what do we not migrate? Obviously, VPNs, firewalls. So these sort of infrastructure networking settings you have to recreate first. Yeah, and then you run test migrations, and then when we do the cutover, obviously here you need to have a maintenance window. But it's a very fast migration solution because what do we have to do during the cutover? We just pull the very last incremental and then boot the machines. So we can easily migrate in less than 3 hours, 1,000 machines. Yeah, just as a rough number, which no one does. So normally our bigger customers, if they have 30,000 machines to migrate, they do like 2,000-3,000 in a month, more or less. But it's not depending on our software. We are not limited. Here you see the flow, high level. Important to understand what I mentioned earlier, that you deploy it on a virtual machine running in a target site. So Hystax Acura is a software, yes, a set of Docker containers managed by Kubernetes, but at the end of the day, it's an instance running in a target site. Yeah. So if you want to go to AWS, you deploy Acura in AWS EC2. If you want to go to OpenStack, you deploy it in a separate OpenStack project. And then there's a UI. From there, you download the agents, which are installed on the source side, either in the server or on the hypervisor level. In case of VMware, we can deploy an additional virtual machine for each VMware XI host. And this is called external agent. And you don't even have to use the UI. It's fully covered by RESTful API. So all the steps, downloading the agent, creation of migration plan, everything, you can do via APIs and integrate in your own portal. Actually, our UI is also just a client in front of our API. Our UI, yes. Next one, disaster recovery. So once you're migrated, if you use Azure, GCP, AWS, they have their own native DR solution. But if you go to OpenStack, and this will be the case in Africa because there are not so many hyperscalers, as we already found out. So these also not so many cloud service providers, but like Virtuoso, more and more coming. They don't have a DR solution by themselves. So this is why we can use Hystax. We are fully integrated in any OpenStack cloud, Virtuoso, Mirantis, Red Hat, Canonical, you name them. Any distribution from Mitaka upwards is supported. And then you can build your own disaster recovery as a service, even between 2 data centers, if you want, and also cloud backup. Yeah. So if you think backup is enough, I only want my data restored for the next 20, 50 years with some retention policies, I don't need automated failover, automated failback, then backup should be enough. We offer both. Here you see a nice little view of the control panel. Yeah. Just have seen it once. So here you see now the advantages, any to any. So we support more platforms, not all platforms, as you saw Oracle is supported, for example, but we support more than any other vendor. It's made for partners. So our go-to-market from the beginning when we founded the company was to sell via partner, via channels, companies like from Siet, Safosi. So of course you can expect a multi-tenancy that you can manage all your customers. Of course you can expect a MSP report where you see the license consumption. Of course you can expect that you can white label it and pretend it's your own DR or backup or migration solution. Yeah. And here's some name dropping. So you see many strong presence in telcos on the left side. Yeah, Telefonica, Orange, Deutsche Telekom, Saudi Telecom. Why? Because all these guys are using OpenStack-based clouds, and we are the experts in OpenStack. We also support AWS, Azure, the hyperscalers, as I mentioned. But our true mother garden, where we have maximum expertise, is OpenStack. The very first company which we supported, the very first platform when we founded Hystax was canonical OpenStack. This is our true mother garden. And it's good to know, because if you want to go to Virtuoso, for example, sponsor of this event, tomorrow we will see the EMEA manager, Antoni, being here as well. There are just 5 vendors at all in the whole world who can do fully automated migration to OpenStack. It's us, Hystax, Z-Converter, Migration Kit, Migrate Kit, and Coriolis and Carbonite. And our solution is by far the most sophisticated, with less manual work before and after the cutover than all the other solutions. That's why we also have these good relations with Red Hat, Canonical, Platform 9, Mirantis, and Virtuoso. Yeah, you name them. Okay, references in the region: North Africa, Datasat, Datacon Al Saudia, Saudi Telecom, and others we also do have. That's it. If you're interested to contact us, of course, we are a small community here. We can talk in the break, or talk to Ziad from Safosi, or to the guys from Virtuoso, which will be there tomorrow, or to me in the breaks. Any questions? Philip. It's a small, you can.
Okay, just a simple question. When you migrate, let's say, VPS, the VPS support means that
Yeah.
Then you migrate from one server to other server. Okay. Yeah. So you migrated, let's say, one VPS from one server to other server. And this VPS is like constantly, I don't know, getting API responses, and then you migrate it from one server to other. So it's absolutely no downtime, but somebody like in the one moment should like redirect customers from one server to other server. Do you understand my idea?
No, actually, no, it's probably too technical to me. But actually, if I never heard this question, because it's not relevant, that's the point, If I cannot answer a technical question, because no one ever asked this, and I'm making presentations 5 times a day for years, so, and although I'm not technical, I'm speaking purely to technical people, so I know the questions, and it never was a question. This means it's not an issue.
Okay. Answer.
But if you're really interested in this, because if you really have a project, of course, I can hook you up with the CTO, and we can answer this in detail.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.